Okay, guys. So I have a little confession to make. Um, I've always ripped on the Saw series a little bit. Like, always kind of made fun of them, didn't take them seriously, and I guess they're an easy punching bag in a way. But honestly, I've seen them all, and I kind of like them. Uh, I guess, why did I always like make fun of them? I guess I'm just opposed to the idea of an annual franchise that pumps out a new sequel every year, whether it needs one or not. That's definitely happened with the Saw series, but to be honest, it's nowhere near as bad as some people make it out to be. And like I said, I like most of them. Really, the only one that I've ripped on and I will stick by it because it sucks is Saw 5. But other than that, they're okay, man. I don't think they're torture porn. I think that's a stupid idea. Probably the only thing I've seen that I would actually consider torture porn is stupid. What's the stupid horror show thing from the 70s where they're torturing the girls? Bloodsucking Freaks. That's probably the only thing I've seen that I would consider torture porn. And maybe that awful, god awful Cannibal Holocaust. But these movies and like Hostel, I'll defend them. I think it's a stupid idea. Like, I think torture is part of horror. Um, and I guess these movies have all been guilty pleasures for me. And I think the reason I like them is probably the same reason that openly fans of them like it is because they're kind of smart. Like there's some sort of intellectual thing going on under the surface. The traps for the most part are clever. Some are absolutely better than others because some of the traps just seem cruel and there's no way out. And probably I think what really makes it work more than anything is Tobin Bell, who continues to give a great performance as this really strong central character to the Jigsaw Killer. And he's in this one a lot, even though he was killed, in Saw 3. He's in this one a lot in flashbacks. He plays into the story. So as for Saw 6, I think it not only bounces back from the terrible fifth entry, but I think it's one of the best in the series because it's relevant and timely. It actually tackles the healthcare debate, which I doubt you've ever seen any horror movie do that. And the cool thing about it is it was released last Halloween, right at the height of the healthcare debate, and it had some smart stuff to say that was cool. Like the plot in this one is Jigsaw's students who are finishing his work for him now. Which I guess that's the one thing I really don't like about the movies is how he has these students who like somehow buy into his bullshit. I find that very hard to believe, but I've just come to accept it after a couple sequels. But his students are carrying out his plan, and his plan is to get revenge in this one to get revenge on the healthcare provider that denied him a certain coverage he wanted for his cancer. So basically, this whole office of healthcare people get kidnapped and set up in traps. But really, they're just going to play victims for the most part. It's the executive, the CEO of this corporation, who has to go through the maze of traps, deciding which of his workers are going to live and die. Based on all these different. Basically, so it's the CEO being put to the test by a jigsaw from beyond the grave, of course. And I just like that. I like the idea of it. The traps are cool in this one. They play off of like the whole healthcare debate. Like there's one where he comes up to a window and it's looking in on like a little theater basically, and two of his employees are like standing on these platforms. They got ropes around their neck, and he has to pull these cords and then choose which one to let go. Basically, which one whose platform is going to drop down and they'll die, and the other person will live. And Jigsaw has it all set up with like recording and stuff. Or actually, it's not Jigsaw's voice; it's just mimicking his voice. But he has it set up, and he's like, The lady on the left, she's your secretary for years, and she has a family that'll miss her and blah blah blah, but she does have health problems. She could die in a couple of years. This guy on the right is young and healthy, and he could, live a long life, but he doesn't have any family yet. So if he dies, no one will miss him. And but according to your plan, your healthcare coverage, you would cover the young guy who doesn't have a family because he's less of a risk, right? So what are you going to do here? Make your choice. What choice are you going to make when you're face to face with the person that you're going to kill? That's cool. That's clever. All the traps kind of play off of that. There's another really cool one near the end where it's like six of his workers on a merry-go-round, and they're set up on this thing, and it'll spin around and stop, and a shotgun will shoot them. And yes, like the shotgun I think has it has six bullets, but he's able to divert two of them that'll miss people. So he has to choose which two people get to live. Cool again, cool traps, and it builds up to a cool ending, which I won't spoil, but it has a cool ending to it. Um, and really, it kind of poses the question to the audience: what would you do with this guy? Would you let him live or would you let him die? Like, what does he deserve? I won't tell you the choice that's made or the circumstances around that, but when you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. So yeah, overall, this is, I'll be honest, one of the best Saw movies. Like I said, because it tackles the healthcare thing and it's fun. It definitely bounces back from five. The traps are cool. The plot is cool. I like seeing these healthcare people getting fucked up. Fucked insurance companies. And when it comes to this series, though, I really, I mean, you could tell by the ending that there's probably going to be another one. So I will accept one more. That's it. It has to end eventually, especially considering Jigsaw died in part three. I know they find a way to bring Tobin Bell back every one for flashbacks and to that's another thing that's cool about the movie. It is kind of one continuous story. It obviously wasn't planned out from Saw one, but they make it seem like it's all planned out, which good for them for putting in the effort and making it work. But really, one more and that's it, guys. You got to cut it off. Figure out something new. But I'll be honest. I'm going to give it a very strong 3 out of 5 stars for Saw 6. I think if you liked any of the movies, you should check this one out. The only thing I will say is that if you haven't seen 1 through 5, you're going to be kind of lost watching 6. You could have fun watching the traps, but the plot is going to be kind of lost on you for the most part. Maybe you can make it through it, but this is really, at this point, you're either a fan or you're not, or maybe you were a fan before. I'd say catch, like, if you liked any of them, I'd say catch up and give 6 a chance, because it is really probably one of my favorites in the series. I put it up with 1, maybe better than 1. So there you go. Um, Once again, guys, thanks for watching. I'll give you a little preview of some movies I might talk about. None of these are guaranteed, but I'm going to be talking about Child's Play 1, The Lovely Bones, Chopping Mall, The Lookout. Maybe The Lookout. It's a classic. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Or a masterpiece, I'll say, not a classic. No one knows it. And I will talk about maybe sometime coming up the original Crazies by George Romero. So once again, thanks for watching, and go watch you some Saw.